So our last but not least speaker is Lauren Jago from the University of Tasmania, and Lauren will give us an overview of how UTAS is approaching GHS compliance. Lauren is the Manager of Work Health and Safety at UTAS and a member of the Safety Institute of Australia, Tasmania Branch Committee. Lauren leads a team of WHS professionals who support the university's research, teaching and learning activities, and prior to this role, Lauren was the Group HSE Manager for Hazel Brothers Groups. Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, everybody. Before we get started on the presentation, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk to you on behalf of the Safety Institute and our upcoming safety symposium. So for big fans of alliteration, that is also sponsored by Cinetec, and that'll be happening on the 21st of July this year. We've been lucky enough to secure some pretty big keynote speakers in Professor Nikki Ellis, who's a leading occupational and public health physician. She'll be talking to us about mental health in Australia and why it's not going away from work health and safety. We've also secured Professor Sydney Decker from Griffith University to talk to us about how do we move beyond control and compliance in work health and safety. He's the author of the book Drift into Failure, and most recently, Safety Done Differently. So we thought it would be remiss of us not to get everyone out of their chairs one last time. It's not only you, Cameron. And there are 2 stickers underneath 2 chairs, and we've got a couple of Sydney's books to give away today. So if you wouldn't mind, without doing a back or lacerating your hand, it's just under the back of your chair. No, you might have to check the one next to you if it's empty. One over there. And 2, one over there too. So members of the committee will also just be dropping around some save the date information, and we hope to open registration for the conference next week.
Where is it?
It'll be in Hobart at the Tasmanian Hockey Centre in Newtown. Quick show of hands. Anyone do a little dance on the inside when you realised you didn't have to retro-label your chemicals? So those same people are probably from the university, and you'll find out why. So Pam asked me to come and talk to you today about how the university is approaching GHS and what our issues and challenges have been. I think we'll agree that they are common regardless of the size of your business, but a bit about who we are. We have plus or minus, I'm really into stats, you'll feel it, plus or minus 30,000 students, 2,500 full-time equivalent staff, about 16,000 chemicals and substances spread across 14 faculties, divisions and institutes, across 4 major locations and hundreds of labs, research facilities and stores. So that's a bit of a profile issue that we've got to manage. Our challenges, none of that is centralised storage or management. We don't have central resources. We have people who take on that responsibility as part of their other job. Normally our HSRs, or this cool group of people that everyone wants to meet, the hazardous chemical coordinators. We've got lots of legacy substances. The TV show Hoarders should have been filmed in research laboratories, and academics move on and leave behind some really great substances for people to deal with. Our suppliers approach is an issue. Most of them aren't GHS ready themselves. Plus we don't tend to manage procurement very well. We've got lots of credit cards used by lots of people who can go to chemicals.com and order whatever they like from wherever they like. And timing. We've only had 4 years to get ready, so we've really, really stretched that out. Data management, our systems and software are a little bit hit and miss. We've got a combination of good old Microsoft Excel, a system called Quartzy and ChemWatch. So we're just trying to work out where we go and how that all happens. Our strengths, so I mentioned the Hazardous Chemical Coordinators group. The Work Health and Safety team established a group of about 30 people across the university who deal with chemicals and hazardous substances on a regular basis, or alternatively are really, really interested in it. they're the driving force behind this program, and will obviously be our biggest source of information when we put our recommendations through. Another strength we've got is the knowledge and expertise available to us. We've got world-class specialists at our disposal, if you like. Getting access to them and getting them to participate is the challenge. Our buying power, so we can negotiate and set some expectations with those people around the right processes if we have those in place. And cross-functional support, so the university is quite a diverse organisation, and we can collaborate with our finance and procurement teams, our science disciplines, to make sure that we can have a sustainable practice beyond this project. So our approach is pretty standard. First, and probably the most major project, would be an audit and inventory. So as Paul referenced, we need to develop and populate our manifest template that's consistent. We need to upload that to our current database, which is ChemWatch, figure out a process and a protocol to treat those legacy chemicals, with the aim of the game being to offload as much as we can and reduce the quantities that we're storing. And I think that project itself will give us a true appreciation of the work to be done in terms of GHS readiness. The second phase of that is SDS and labels, which as of about 45 minutes ago got so much better. So we are developing templates, label stuff and calculators to convert all of that stuff. We need to update our terms and conditions for purchasing so that we can control access or supply beyond 1st of January. And we need to identify who those key suppliers are and work with them so that they can help us to do the work at a consistent level. And the ongoing compliance, which I think every organisation might struggle with. How do you make sure that this effort doesn't need to be done in 12 months' time or 2 years' time? And for us, that's really getting the end-to-end process down, evaluating all the options around central and decentralised storage and procurement, and having an audit and monitoring process in place. So the next steps, we need to go back and re-engage with our hazardous chemical coordinators, our heads of school, deans and general managers about what the work is to be done, and that includes our students and staff. We need to be clear on our expectations of the project and what it will deliver, and communicate that. There needs to be a determination by the university about how we'll resource the ongoing side of things. We're evaluating internal and external proposals to do that, with the intent to provide a final recommendation back to our Work Health and Safety Committee in May. Then we'll need to work with our organisational units to have action plans in place, and then we'll need to engage with our audit and risk colleagues about ongoing maintenance and monitoring. And part of that is around preparing materials. So we've stolen some posters and rebadged them and changed some words and bits and pieces, but it's getting the information out there in front of mind so that people know that the change is coming and what to expect from it. And we might lead with not having to do the existing things if they're already compliant. And for us, I guess it means looking at our Schedule 11 and Schedule 15 assessments under the Work Health and Safety regulations now that we know where we're standing under that Act. So that's kind of us, very short, very sweet, not so simple. Happy to take questions, as long as they're kind and fair. Nope. No, they just want to go.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Okay, so we're nearly coming to the end. We've had 5 great speakers this morning. Paul Taylor gave us an overview of the GHS requirements and reminded us of the looming deadline for January. Renee informed us of the huge amount of research that has been completed to ascertain the level of exposure to carcinogens in Australia, and I'm sure we'll look forward to her further research in that area. Peter made us aware that asbestos, although limited, continues to be imported, and that we should reduce further this likelihood, and we should also now know what to do if we do spot some asbestos and how we should go about that. Peter gave us an overview of WorkSafe Tasmania's responsibilities, which I'm sure we all need to know about, and Lauren has finished the morning off with showing us how UTAS plans to be GHS compliant. So thank you very much, everybody, for your participation today. I look forward to seeing you at our next networking session. You'll notice there's quite a lot of paperwork on the tables. I'll draw your attention just to a couple of things. The WorkSafe Tasmania Awards are now open, so if you want to get your entries in, that would be great. So you can go online and do that. The Tasmanian Skills and Workforce Development Conference will be on the 30th and 31st of May. And as a pre-conference activity, Better Work Tas will be having a session there. And as I said, we'll be giving away the little business card wallets, the contact detail wallets at that session. So please come along to that. And I think that's just about the end of the session. So any other questions or thoughts or comments? I think Cameron, you still here? Oh, anything from you, Cameron? Okay. Yes, so feel free to continue to network. There's still coffee outside for any of those that want it. And, and thank you again for your participation. Thank you.